Buenas noches, familia. Or hola. Hello to everyone in my circle. How are you? As everybody already know, I am the infamous Spiritual Nima. And thanks for the support and the turnout. A lot of people are now coming to witness what is going on, and you all are showing up in greater numbers. And guess what? Your feedback, okay, your viewership, and your attention. You understand? I am grateful and I am humbled. So, I wanted to come and talk to you every day. I said I'm going to share a jewel with you on the channel. Maybe this will upload to the Spiritual Nima channel. It's hard to tell, which channel I last viewed you all on. And so anyway, but first of all, I need you all to resubscribe if you are in that situation. Some people say I'm fine, I get the notifications, I'm still subscribed. But there's some people that are frustrated because they have to actually do a whole new search to find me. And I have pinned those comments so that you all can see for yourself what is going on. And once again, like I say, more than ever in the up and coming days and in the future of YouTube, a lot of channels will experience that. Mostly the truther channels will. Some channels will actually be shut down. Eventually, they may just start shutting certain channels down because it's either they got to keep us acting the way they want us to act. We got to continue the roles that they have chosen for us. But I say when you're ready to break outside the box of the matrix, you know what I'm saying? When you're ready to make that baby step, you choose your own role, okay? Yes, we all know that the role would be for me to go to church, and because they consider me an African American in the African American woman in the South, my role would probably be to go to church and hold the Bible and upstand with that, because they do have roles for certain groups of people that they need you to continue to portray in order to keep this going in their favor. Once again, like I say, this is not just here on a physical level, but on a higher level than that. So it's very important that you are raising your frequencies. Raising your frequencies will allow you to more or less speak to your higher self. You know what I'm saying? And allow your higher self to decide for you. In a lot of countries, a lot of what we do, you just blatantly can't do it because they don't have the sophisticated system that has been constructed out west, you see. So this system is constructed and computerized. You know what I'm saying? So if that fails, then we may find ourselves like those people in North Korea and all of those communist societies, all of those other places and stuff. You'll hear me speaking a little bit of Spanish, just basic Spanish here and there, because Spanish is definitely a language that I am working on learning and everything. And like I say, I feel a kinship with Cuba, okay? I know what y'all saying. There's a communist there too, but it's getting better and stuff, they say, since Fidel Castro passed away. So it's getting a little bit better and stuff. I have a twin soul in Santiago de Cuba. Hello to you. And they're not able necessarily to get internet access and everything, and they're helping me work on my Spanish, and I'm going to go and see that twin soul in the future. Okay, definitely I'll be out there to see you. This is what I wanted to show you all. I had been out in the lake, and I actually retrieved this right here. I think it's very interesting, and anyone knows anything about whittling wood and creating a staff out of it. I want to make a staff out of it. I'm going to make a staff. I saw what's his name, a Chief of Machi staff, and I was intrigued and decided that I would make a staff of my own. And so what should I leave it like this? You know, it's really dirty and grainy like, see? Or should I whittle the bark on the outside? It's very heavy and sturdy. And I know a lot of people say get a straighter stick, but no, I know I like this. I like the crookedness in it. You know, I don't like perfection. You know, so this is just the right size for me. You know, it's just, I mean the right shape. I think. Okay. So if anybody out there got some ideas for my staff, let me know if you got some ideas for the staff. I mean, I've seen a little bit of everything. I even thought about putting the skull of one of my beloveds on it. You know, one of my beloved animals that I have, like, you know, I do have Sparky buried in the back. I thought about using his skull to, in commemoration of himself in this particular staff. I thought about everything, a muskrat skull or something like that. But if you got some ideas, let me know, because I will be invoking powers with that staff. All of that I've said, and I've almost forgotten the topic of what I wanted to talk about. There's so many things that I want to bring to your attention. And I know a lot of the things that I talk about may be for some of the audience a little bit strange. Maybe all of it is and everything. But what I am trying to do and what is important to me at my age group, see, if you're not 50 yet, or beyond, it may be difficult. It's nothing negative about that. It's just you need to get an understanding where I am at this point. I know that in my 20s and 30s and 40s, this was not on my mind. But here where I am now, you know, at the mid stage of my life, you know, I'm in a whole different world. Does that make sense? So at this point, you know, I am seeking the divinity at this point. I am getting my soul self prepared, you understand, for ascension, so to speak. And I'm noticing a lot of very interesting, or to some of you who may find it very weird, some very bizarre events happening everywhere, all around me. Some of you all may be witnessing some of these things too. And I got some little graphic things I want to talk about, but maybe in the dark. You'll see a different character of myself in the dark. I got a little work to do tonight. I got a couple of people I got to talk to. So when I'm through doing that, then I'll get started. It'll probably be tomorrow night. This is September 2017. I want to just keep documenting it and everything. I didn't put the date on there and everything, but I want to continue to document the days. We're in a serious drought here once again in the South. I'm noticing that leaves are not necessarily dropping as they should, and I'm just noticing that that's a pecan tree right there. Look, so I got something graphic I got to tell y'all about. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow night. Y'all, I want to tell y'all about one bizarre event. Look, it's important that you raise these frequencies. I know we talk about hoodoo all the time. Hoodoo is a very dark practice, very dark. For a lot of you all who are unsure what hoodoo is, or you just been reading books to try to figure out what it is or what have you, I just want to let you know that it's dark, and a lot of people may just disagree with it, and a lot of people bicker back and forth with the recipe, like how to cook a possum. It's a man, I remember I was tending to him in ICU when I was a nurse. This man had sustained a gunshot wound to the abdomen. He was a big old heavyset black man, and he had owned a barber shop, and him and another man were arguing back and forth on how to cook a possum. and the other man disagreed with him. They just got in a heated argument, and he was shot in his abdomen. When he was shot in his abdomen, he was rushed to the hospital, and he was admitted in ICU. And he was a patient of mine. I used to float in the hospital. I was what you call a floater, and a floater was somebody who came in. I was able to set my own schedule, what days I wanted to work. They decide, where you going to work. You know what I'm saying? You have to work on the unit that they wanted you to work on. And that particular night I was in the ICU, and I noticed something. Med-surg is one of the hardest units in the hospital. Med-surg is some tough work when they first come out of surgery. But I know I felt the same about ICU. I thought ICU was going to be really bad, but ICU was actually more easier than med-surg, because we got a lot of patients in med-surg, but you only have like a couple of patients to 3 patients in ICU, because ICU is like the next step out the door if you didn't recover. It was like, and so I had a lot of patients in there that went in there and they never came out to go back to a room. They went on to the other side, to the afterworld. And so it's a very, very, very humbling, hallowed place in ICU. But this man was in there and he was unconscious and stuff like that. The argument was about a recipe, meaning that when it comes to even recipes, people can get in a very heated argument as to what's right, what's wrong. I've learned on my journey here, especially on YouTube, that it is futile to go back and forth with other content creators or people in the comment section as to who is the best, who is right, who is wrong. Like I say, as you begin to raise your vibrations and incorporate love in the situation, you know what I'm saying? Love won't let you go back and forth. Wish they had known that long time ago. Love will not allow you to go in those places. You got to raise your vibrations. I said all of that about the recipe because I'm going to talk to you about my recipe of hoodoo and what my ancestors have shared with me and what I've learned from people here, that I grew up with in the South and I continue to mingle with. Look, you can voodoo in hoodoo, okay? I'm going to say it again. This is what I'm saying for me. I'm not telling you to incorporate this in your life, but you can voodoo and hoodoo, okay? You'll find that if you can open up to some of these people in the South, that they are incorporating voodoo into their recipes and then their practices. Yes. Okay, so know that once again, hoodoo is a system of many belief systems. It gives you the freedom. And see, like I say, as we strive, you understand, to reach ascension, you will find that it's difficult to get there when you are under the constraints of a particular religion. Therefore, at this point, I will not be under those type of restrictions. Hello? Okay? Now, a lot of people may say, well, you're lowering your frequencies. I got everything down here like you told me. I got my mat down here. And I got all of my stuff down here. I'm creating okay. But anyways, you know who you are. But anyways, I know what you're saying. Well, how you going to reach ascensions? How are you going to raise your vibrations? If there are certain things you're doing, certain things will lower your vibrations. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get to that in a video coming pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a day-to-day chore, you understand, to keep yourself at your highest frequencies. Because some days they may drop. You know what I'm saying? I'm striving on a daily basis. Look, y'all, now I'm going to switch the subject because I got to go. I'm in a big hurry and stuff like that. So I'm going to switch the gears, so to speak. And tomorrow night, if I don't have any work, I'm going to sit down, which I got a lot of work because I want to prepare my house, get my clothes ready for Oya. It's just so much to do that I'm forgetting what I want to talk about. You know, so I say tomorrow night I'll probably be in a mindset where I can sit down and just really talk to y'all, because there's some things I have had special requests by two people. They want me to go in deeper on a subject matter. Okay. So, let me see where I'm gonna go with this, because there's so much to talk about. So much to talk about and so many things to do. Somebody was saying, they said, Mama, I saw in the comment section, how can I get my house ready? Y'all, I'm skipping all over the place. It's so much to do. They said, how can I get my house prepared for this Halloween moment, this great event for witches, priestesses, priests, and wizards, and warlocks, whatever you identify, spiritualists. How can I get my house prepared for October, for the Day of the Dead, extending all the way out to November? Like I say, it's good to do a little research. I know we do. They have a Day of the Dead in Birmingham sometime around that time, where a lot of people, especially Hispanics, come together and do like parades and different events and stuff. Now I know, as a little kid, down at which I always call, down in these lower areas like Mobile and the Gulfport and Savannah, places like that. You know what I'm saying? It would be like a holiday to, spook the little kids and making them act right. So everybody got different take on it. You dress up, and spook the kids, make them do right. I mean, you could say now, if you don't act right, the boogeyman gonna get you, and when that event comes, the bad kids will be spooked out. Y'all didn't know that, did you? It has been commercialized now as an event to, sell costumes and stuff for people to dress up and say trick or treat. These are just different events that have been borrowed from so many practices all over the world. And little kids will have their bags and they'll get candies, or I guess a trick would be like, you would, do a magical trick for the children and everything. Everybody got their own take on it. This channel is not going to be a channel that will be, necessarily reviewing any other's doctrine or belief system and, picking it apart, because like I said, it lowers the frequencies, okay? In the past, I may have participated in some stuff like that, but I found out that prevents you from reaching ascension. And you got to know that's what the globalists want you to do. They want you to bicker back and forth. That's why a lot of groups can't get it together. As long as you're fighting and arguing, hopefully this is an intervention. You can't teach your audience, whatever that is that they need. But it just depends on what your mission is as you give content out on your channel. I have a duty, while I'm alive and well, to help women, especially African American women, to find their way and to stay on that road that will once again help them to reach their highest potential. And when men are here too, so I'm working with men too. But just know what my priority is. My priority is with women of all races, but particularly African American or black, or black women, or whatever. Whether you find yourself a black woman over here in Africa, or a black woman over in the Caribbean, or a black woman from another universe. So you see what I'm saying? So I am all for women, okay? But at the same time too, I love you too, men, and I welcome you here as you, help me to rise and us to bring forth the divine feminine where it should be, and it should never have ever stopped being in the first place. Okay, so anyway, so I said all of that. So know that if you hear me talking about hoodoo and I say anything about any other belief system, whether I may decide to talk about the practices of the Celtics or the practices of witchcraft or the practices of Ifa or Santeria or Apollo or voodoo, whatever, you understand, that we in the practice of hoodoo, you understand, get this in your head, or Satan, to Luciferian magic, or praying to Satan, all of these are practices of hoodoo. They will do that. I heard a woman who was definitely, and she's a Christian. So you got Christian magic too. So we'll go back to Christianity or Catholicism. It just goes back and forth. I heard a woman set up in church and said, Lord, please don't let their car start up. And I pray in the name of Satan. Okay? See, Christians, you understand, they on some other stuff, because I don't care what nobody say, that stuff work too. Christians can get down on their knees and pray that you stumble and fall. Just the mere fact that they say, I told God about it. And God said he gonna make my enemies leave me alone. Just the fact that they said I told God about it is in a sense a threat to you and your safety or your family's safety. So know that hoodoo gets dark, because a lot of people are practicing it and they ain't calling it hoodoo. Okay? See what I'm saying? So where that name hoodoo came from, I always said that they would say hoodoo to keep from saying voodoo. You see what I'm saying? So yes, they do voodoo in hoodoo. Okay, so that's a little gem I wanted to share with you all and everything. And if you got any ideas for that staff, let me know. It is much appreciated. And let's get this video uploaded and everything. Call me if you need me, okay? If you need anything, need some insight, text me. Keep your lanterns glowing, okay? And also, please keep in mind that Puerto Rico is suffering. There are a lot of people suffering. But if I'm not mistaken, isn't this U.S. territory? Witches, we need to do our work. Get your lanterns out. A lot of people think it's silly, but in hoodoo, we do work the lantern. That's where we put all of our ingredients in our lanterns and burn them. Back in the day, they were kerosene lamps. Keep your lamps burning. If you have not yet gotten your lamps, we're burning our lamps now, not only for our safety and the fact that we want to keep our families safe, because it's a lot of disaster, man-made disaster at that, out there at this particular point. But we want to keep these candles, and if you got candles, or keep these lamps burning for Puerto Rico. Okay, let's do that for Puerto Rico. Okay, I guess that ends this video. Adios. Bye-bye.